Hey everybody, it is Smoke again with some domination gameplay on Village with a special guest appearance. He's a little loose on the sticks, but it is Michael J. Fox, everybody. Give him a hand. Yeah. Alright, I know that's totally mean. Actually, Michael J. Fox is a pretty cool guy. With as much crap as he's had to deal with and every reason in the world to be pessimistic, he's probably one of the most optimistic, inspirational people in the world. And if you don't understand the reference to saying Michael J. Fox, if you notice right there, any gameplay that is taken out of Modern Warfare 3 Theater Mode, for whatever reason, at random points throughout the game, you get this random, quick left-right jitter. I don't understand it at all. It's right there again. It's just really interesting. Obviously, I've turned my theater mode back on. I really wasn't noticing much of a difference with it being off, and I was missing a ton of gameplay because I don't record live all the time. So I figured I'd throw it back on. At least when I'm not recording live, I'll be able to go back and reference some of my games that I wasn't capping for. I just find it really interesting. In Black Ops, that theater mode was technically in its beta, and I actually had no issues with the feature as a whole. I know a lot of people are going to attribute multiplayer lag and some detriments to the game to theater mode running, and that very well may be the case. I've had theater mode disabled in this game quite a while, and I can't say I really noticed a benefit of it being disabled. So that being said, I really wasn't having any issues with Black Ops theater mode, and that being in its beta, you think you would, and I don't know if it's the correct assumption, but I would think that in this version of theater mode and in Modern Warfare 3, I would imagine that this would be the actual release grade of the feature, and it's pretty buggy. Like I said, not only do you have this random jitter, seems like it's every 15 seconds or so, no rhyme or reason. You actually lack some features. You don't have the dolly cam. If you go back and watch any of your gameplay and you try to watch first person in any of the either the enemy or on your team, you can't watch first person. You can only follow third person. Gosh, there's something else too. But it just seems like it's a watered down feature that actually does not function as well as the Black Ops version. But that's really neither here nor there. I did want to at least touch on that just so anybody who's not familiar with the game at this point would at least understand why every now and then I kind of go crazy on the sticks and then I start, looking left and right. But what I wanted to get into was more of my impressions a couple of weeks into the game being released. And for the most part, I would say they're positive. I mean, there are things that are frustrating at times. Sometimes, I can deal with lag, but sometimes the connections in this game are just horrible and downright unplayable. I was playing some games even the other night with a full group, and everybody was 2-barred connection, everyone in the room, obviously host included. Everyone was either 2 bars or 1 bar, and we tried finding different rooms. I imagine it was somebody who was in my party who kept pulling host for whatever reason. But that being said, the host selection process and the lack of migration of the host is a little bit of a problem. As far as gameplay goes, I do enjoy the game. I do. I like the point streaks. I like being rewarded for what I do in the game, objective-based or getting assists, things like that. I do enjoy that. I do like the gameplay as a whole. Like I've touched on in the past, I'm not going to go back into it too much. The maps just aren't designed very well. It forces you to be too mobile, and you're going to be at a disadvantage if you're not connected well. Like I said, I'm not going to beat a dead horse. I've touched on that before. What I've done to kind of counter that is play slower, stick to the perimeter, limit the angles of engagement, and aim down sights a whole heck of a lot, because sometimes in these kill cams you're not even shooting people, it's literally you're going to aim down sights, and by the time you're doing that you're already dead. At least if you're already aiming down sights and you could squeeze off some shots, maybe you'll cause that guy to flinch first, and maybe you'll be able to be rewarded with the kill on a not so good connection. But the one thing that I'm having problems with more than anything else in this game, and I've touched on it in other games, and it's nothing new to multiplayer gaming as a whole, but it's bad teammates. If there's one thing that I've noticed about this game, is that it will make good players, they'll still be good, they're not going to be as good as they were before, but it makes bad players fucking horrible. And I'm not exaggerating. It makes bad players just ridiculously bad. And I don't know if it's somewhat of the Modern Warfare 2 lack of interest in the objective that I'm dealing with. I mean, like I said, I play objective games primarily. I know all I've put up on here is domination gameplay. That's actually going to change. I'm going to put up some different game modes on here as well, but I play so many games where my entire team is going negative, it makes it very difficult to do well. And I'm not even talking about pulling off good KD games. I mean, obviously that's something I'd like to have, but at the same time, if I'm pulling out the win, that's most important to me. And I'm not winning in this game. I'm just not. And that's really frustrating because I'm not used to losing games. And as a result, I'm pushing, I'm pressing, I'm trying to do too much. My other stats are down as a result of that. Like I said, not a big deal for me. I'd like to be at a certain level. I'd like to get to that 2 KD plateau if I could, and I think I'm about 100 kills off from doing that. So I'll get there. It's just still, it's different for me because I'm not used to having to try this much and not get a whole lot out of it in return. But I did have an opportunity at least to play with a full group the other night. A lot of the guys I used to run with still aren't playing this game. But playing with people in this game, competent people, competent teammates who know how to play the game, understand the objective, play as a team, communicate, it makes a world of difference in the game, and I can overlook any shortcoming, any pitfall that this game may have. If you're just playing with people who are good guys to joke around with, toss the shit, and they know how to play the game. But this video is about done. Barely squeaked out a victory. Let me know how you guys are liking the game or not liking the game, how your feelings have changed. And as always, thanks for watching.